Good morning to all the students. This lesson is for class 10th for the subject of chemistry, topic applications of electrolysis, which is covered in chapter 6 electrolysis, starting on page number 114 of your textbook titled Concise Chemistry by Selena publication, and is being submitted to you on 5th July 2021. This voice is of Mohinisha Thakur. All students may now please open page number 114 of your notebook in front of you. If all students are ready, then let us start with this chapter. All students may now please listen carefully. The topic is applications of electrolysis. What is the meaning of applications? Used. Where the electrolysis are using, that we will do. First is electroplating with metals. We use electrolysis for electroplating with metals. So let us discuss this first application of electrolysis, that is in electroplating a thin coating of a metal like gold, which is Au, silver, which is Ag, nickel, which is Ni, chromium, which is Cr, etc. is applied on another metal article with the help of electricity. It is generally done to give a shining appearance or to protect articles from rusting and corrosion. Now, we will discuss the conditions for electroplating. So students, we should know what conditions we have to use for electroplating. So first condition is the article to be plated is always placed at cathode, because the metal ions undergo reduction at cathode and get deposit there. Number 2, the anode is made up of the metal which is to be plated on the article. It will be an active anode and it will continuously dissolve to produce ions. The anode has to be replaced periodically. Number 3, the electrolyte must have the ions will migrate to cathode and get deposited on the article. Number 4, a low current for a longer time should be used so that a uniform and thick deposition is obtained. And number 5, the current used should be direct and not AC, which is alternate current. Otherwise, the electrodes will keep changing, due to which the discharge of ions at electrodes will also be alternate and the plating will not be effective. Now we will discuss the electroplating an article with silver. So here you may observe the apparatus or the diagram drawn on the page number 2 of the notes, which is sent on 5th July 2021. Here we have taken the container in which we will take the anode, which is of pure silver plate. Ag, you may observe here in the left hand side, and in the right hand side we will take the article properly washed and clean, which is of a cathode. And electrolyte we will use sodium argentocyanate solution. It is a complex solution. So what is its formula? NaAgCN whole twice. So this electrolyte we will use and we will do the electroplating an article with silver. For this you may observe the diagram on the page number 2 that we have already discussed. Now here I will discuss the dissociation of electrolytes. So students, when the dissociation of electrolytes take place, means what is the electrolyte here? It is a sodium argente cyanide. It will dissociate into Na positive and Ag positive plus 2 cyanide molecules. When you will dissociate water, it will dissociate into H positive ion and OH negative ions. So what is the cations and anions produced here will be? So cations produced is Na positive, Ag positive, H positive, and anions produced is Cn negative and OH negative ions. And Ag ions will get discharged at cathode because of the lowest position in electrochemical series. This you may observe by the diagram which is drawn on page number 2, right? And the cathode, what will happen? Cathode will get one electron, Ag positive, and become Ag, the silver deposited at cathode, which is on the right hand side. And anode is made up of silver, therefore silver atoms will be oxidized instead of cyanide and OH negative ions. That we have already discussed it in details earlier. Now if we talk about the anode, so anode will have the silver element, so it will lose one electron and we will become Ag positive. So it will lose electron. So what it is meaning, that silver anode plate dissolves and become thin. The silver from anode keeps dissolving into Ag positive ion, and Ag positive ions go to cathode article and get deposited. In this electroplating process, the electrolyte is a complex salt which is a sodium argentocyanide. Instead of this, if silver nitrate is used, then the silver deposit will be very fast and hence not smooth and uniform. That you will have to keep in mind. Now we will discuss electroplating with nickel. So now we will do the electrolysis with nickel elements. So here you may observe the apparatus. We will take the container in which we will electrolyte take nickel sulfate solution, NiSO4. Your electrolyte should be a radicals. One element should be of positive charge and another should be of negative charge, that we have already discussed. So we will attach the anode which is in left hand side, which is of pure nickel. If we are doing the electrolysis of nickel, so we will take the nickel element. So we will connect it with the battery and ammeter. Ammeter will increase the current. And on the right hand side, here is a cathode. We will take the cathode article. So what would be its dissociation, as you already know? So it is similar as that we have discussed the earlier one, that dissociation of electrolytes. Firstly we will do the dissociation of electrolytes, So what is it? NiSO4. So NiSO4 is the electrolyte here, so it will dissociate into Ni2 positive and SO4 to negative, whereas water dissociate into H positive and OH negative. This part is a main for all the electrolysis with any elements. Okay, so what is the cation produced and anion produced here? So cation produces nickel, which is of positive charge, and from the water it is H positive, and the anion produces SO4 to negative and OH negative. So at cathode, Ni2 positive means here cathode Ni2 positive get discharge in preference to H positive ions, because it is mentioned in the electrochemical series. Okay, and in cathode Ni2 positive, where is the nickel 2 positive? Here it will give 2 electrons. Okay, it will take 2 electrons and become Ni. Nickel is deposited on the article. Anode is made up of nickel, therefore nickel atoms get oxidized. Those elements will give electron, it will oxidize, and those elements will take electrons, it will get reduced. Instead of SO4 to negative and OH negative ions, nickel anode dissolves to form Ni2 positive ion. So anode here, in the case of anode, nickel will lose 2 electrons and become Ni2 positive, right? So this was the electroplating with nickel.